So, Virgos, you've got some really good cards. I feel like this is probably the best spread in terms of the love relationship. Actually, your reading is actually pretty positive overall across the board. So, but more than anything, we do have the Two of Cups here, which denotes to me some type of a serendipitous meeting, like some type of a soulmate connection as well. So you have some very good cards. Let's go into the reading. I'm going to talk about the past. So I feel like a lot of you are coming into this month with already like with an established relationship, like already in a relationship. So in the past position, we do have the Four of Wands, which is stable home, stable relationship. This oftentimes denote to me like a marriage type of situation where people are all working together in order to build something together. So I feel like for some of you, you might be involved here with another person who is very reliable, who is who you trust completely. I do feel you're involved with somebody who likes to dither with things. They have a very childlike energy about them where they like to work with their hands. They like to fix things. They like to fix like to have like multiple projects. They're very talented. They have a lot of skills. They have a lot of talent, but I feel like they're a little bit scattered, a little bit like unfocused. Okay. And then I feel for others of you, you're just I see some type of age difference. You might be dating somebody who is younger or who's like significantly older. So I feel like some type of age difference where somebody is like very serious and the other person is very silly. So temperamental differences, age differences. You might be in a relationship. You might be in a relationship with somebody where it's sort of like a mentor student type of situation as well. I feel like the relationship is very, very stable, and I feel like there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of like mutual respect, good reception in this relationship. The Four of Pentacles also indicates like physically, sharing a space together, sharing a house together, and living together in a very harmonious way where each person does their own thing, but at the end of the day, they really, have a common purpose. So it's a very, very stable environment for some of you in the past, okay? Which brings us to the present situation. In the present situation, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this relationship that you are in, you have accumulated a lot of stuff together. You're living together, sharing the same space, wanting to move, wanting to like take the relationship to the next level. So if you're already in a relationship, if you're already living together, the next step is, proposal, marriage, etc. So I do sense that coming through for many of you who are already in stable relationship and you're already living together. So the natural, next step is going to be meeting the parents, bringing the parents into the fold, taking the relationship to the next level, thinking about joining your assets together, buying engagement rings and things like that. So that's coming through. It's linked up here in the present situation with a fire sign. So this is Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And I feel like a lot of you might already be in a stable relationship with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, somebody with this sun, moon, or rising. And I feel, going back to, I feel like one person is very, like a very old soul, and the other person is very young. One person is very serious, and the other person is like silly. So there is some type of like great attraction in this relationship. But I feel like if you're, especially if you're involved with this fire sign, I almost feel like this person, their life is not as stable as yours. You're at a point where you want to build your career. You might have property, you might have assets, you have a lot of financial wealth in your environment. And I feel like this person is still leading a carefree, almost like a nomadic lifestyle where they have not accumulated a lot of stuff. They might not have a career. They might not know where they're headed. So I feel like you're physically attracted to somebody and you get along really well. And there's a lot of chemistry, great attraction. But in terms of like building a future together, it's a little bit shaky right now. It can still work, but it's still, in the preliminary stages and it's still a little bit shaky. Okay. So if you're in a stable relationship and you're living together, I feel like things are being taken to the next level. Be careful about pregnancy because we do have what's coming through as the Empress, which is expanding the domain, bringing new people into the environment. So that means, moving in with parents, taking in parents, and letting parents meet, letting your significant other meet the in-laws, for example. I also feel pregnancy, like bringing another, a child into the relationship. So I do sense pregnancy coming through. If you are expecting, if you're not expecting, be careful and protect yourself from it. It's linked up here with the Two of Cups, which is a really, really beautiful energy. It basically means divine timing when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to birth and conception. And with this card, it also indicates to me a very strong soulmate connection. Meeting a kindred spirit, meeting somebody or being with somebody that really gets you on an emotional level, okay? So a lot of you might be running across, if you're single, definitely please get out there and date. And especially from now until the March timeframe, I do see great propensity here for running across somebody that is meant for you. Okay. I feel like for some of you, it's going to be done through electronic communication. It's also going to be somebody you meet through a work front. Be careful about mixing business with pleasure. It's not always a great thing to do, but I do sense like when this person comes into the picture, I feel like your soul is going to recognize them. This is a very strong soulmate connection, a very star, like it's almost like a fated type of meeting between you and another person. Okay. So going to the foundation is something that we know to be true. So a lot of you are entering the month of December with these things already. So we have here an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. And I feel like you might already be involved with this person. This person is getting their financial situation in order. And they are kind of like, I feel like they're hitting some type of pay dirt. In their work environment, in their professional life, things are going really, really well. They're in a position where they are really proud of themselves, and they're in a position where, their status, their professional image is getting a major, major boost. They might have landed a very lucrative assignment, and they might have recently, change jobs, and they're feeling really good about themselves. So if then in the past they might have been lacking in self-confidence, this is the month in which they are gaining back that confidence. For others of you, you are also in a position where, all of these things are happening for you. But I feel like it's somebody that you're already dealing with. And if you are going into this month, your emotional, professional, and as well as financial situation looks very stable. I feel that you are going into this month with, I feel like meeting a lot of new people, socializing, dating as well, and you're doing it through the electronic means. Okay, so electronic communications, getting a lot of messages, getting a lot of positive reception in your environment regarding who it is that you're dating or dealing with. So the crowning energy is something that you are thinking about. We have a water sign. So I feel like I'm reading for a lot of Virgos going through different scenarios with different people. We have a water sign, a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. This is their sun, moon, or rising. And this is somebody that wants you back. I feel like they have walked away, you have walked away. And as a gesture that, you are serious or they are serious, somebody's making a grand gesture in order to get you back. I feel like they're no longer repressing their feelings. If in the past they might have been secretive, or you might not have been able to understand where they're coming from, there is a grand gesture coming through in order to prove to you how much you mean to them. And I feel like whoever did the walking away is trying to make a comeback. So if you walked away from them, you're trying to show them some type of grand gesture that you want them back. If they're the one that walked away in the past, they're coming through with a grand gesture to win you back. Whether or not you want to do that, that's up to you, but you want to really understand. I feel like there's a lot of conflict. There has been a lot of conflict with that person in the past. There might have been a third party interfering in that relationship as well. So whoever walked away, I feel like walked away because they wanted to be with another person. And I feel like if that's the situation, it can't really work out. It won't really work out because, leaving one person for another and then wanting to find a way back, it's like settling for less. And so you want to be careful about that. If that is something you have been dealing with in the past, don't go back to that situation, okay? Overall, I do feel though, for singles especially, there is a really high potential here of meeting a soulmate connection from now into the March timeframe. So date a lot of people, get online, start dating, go through the numbers because I feel like you're going to make great traction, okay? And then for other people, you are in a relationship that is with an earth sign. I do feel that this relationship is very, very stable as well. It is indicating to me as well there is like a lot of healing that's going to take place, a lot of restoration of faith in yourself and your partner. So you're on the right track here with an earth sign, okay? And then single soulmate connection, those of you who are dealing with other signs, especially water signs and fire sign. With the fire sign, you like the person, but it's hard for you to figure out where you're headed, what direction you're meant to be in. But this is a really good person. They will fight for you. They're very honorable and they're very trustworthy. And then for others dealing with thinking about a water sign, I feel like you've already walked away. They're making a gesture to come back, but I feel like you're moving on with somebody else, okay?